I have a lemonade. And I have fries with honey mayo, I think regular Heinz, and a huge burger. I haven't eaten any meat in, I don't know, very long. Honey mayo. Ah, or Dutch. Random, man. 1 week of laundry, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I don't know, long. Grandpa says, go. Oh, it works. Yes. But how long does it take? 1 hour? Take 1 hour? It's turning. It's spinning. Welcome back to Sailing WindRose, where I'm still vlogging on my trip to the Nordics, and I am now in Staveren, but I'm no longer in Staveren. As you can see, I'm in the beautiful city of Durgedam for a reason that I will explain later. But for now, I had my meal, the washing was done by the machine. So for me, I had a little time to briefly explore the city. It's ready. Ooh, nice. Nice and fluffy. Oh, good. Reinig deurfilter. Clean filter. Is this all from my... Holy... Where did this came from? This came from my clothes? Okay. Well, let's start packing the bag. I cannot tell you how happy I am with this. It's all clean, and this is all clean as well. This from the washer and the dryer is amazing. Now, we don't have a dryer at home, and I did notice one thing, like everything is wrinkled. Like, oh my lord, what happened to it? Anyway, I think I'm gonna have a starry night. So back at the station where I normally sit with a nice cup of green tea, and after a very well deserved, I would almost say, night of sleep in my clean bed, it was time to explore the city just a bit more. Remember that problem I had the other day with my engine throttle? Well, I thought let's prevent it. I couldn't fix it, but I thought let's just prevent me stepping on the gas throttle and redirect the lines of the wind vane. How hard can it be? Small change for mankind. Probably a huge leap for me, because I will now enter the cockpit on this end and not on this end where the lever is. So by putting the lines here, I prevent me going in here, stepping on this. So I think that's better. Whoops, I forgot the swimming ladder. It would go right through there if I would do that, which makes no sense. Alternatives to do it like this could be an option. I could give it a try. But there is a big risk that it's actually touching. Let me check it one more time. Started raining. I do want to finish this. So I'm gloriously working in the rain in my swimming gear. Everything is back as it was. I didn't change a thing. I did have an idea though. This little box inspired me. What if I have a box that would fit on top of the lever? Would, for instance, this box fit on top? Can I then just duct tape it to it to make it stick? That might just work. Let's think a bit about that. It's not that warm anymore. But if there's one thing I learned during my trip, it's that you shouldn't rush things. And having a bite is always good. So I figured, let's have a bite first. And actually, while at it, I fixed a mysterious issue I had with my high pressure cooker. I solved the mystery of the high pressure cooker pan thing, because normally steam was going out there and I couldn't figure out why. But what you need to do is you kind of take it and then shake it a bit when it's hot, and then it works. Now the green thing comes up and it's doing what it should be doing. Pasta al dente in 5 minutes. And I figured I couldn't visit Norway and not eat some salmon, because, ladies and gentle people, most of the salmon that we eat in the Netherlands is from Norway. But the lady actually told me, look at the color, it's darker. So it's not salmon, it's trout. Which basically means it's river fish. And when I said if it is free, how do you say that? Free fish or captive fish? She said probably captive. Well, now we know. I hit the jackpot with this fish. And pasta with oil al aglio, spicy aglio. Oh, I love this meat. I love this meal. So I used to make it for me. Kind of freaked out because I actually don't know how to make it, but I'm gonna call her one more time, see if she answers. But she has a special dinner tonight, so well, let's see. Look at that. I'm a blessed man. Me trout and me pasta al aglio, where Steph actually gave the recipe, a 0.0 beer and a Rubik's Cube for after dinner. Some parmesan on top of it. I'm a happy man. Time to eat. Well done, Steph. Exactly the recipe. In the end, I decided not to apply the fix and leave it as is, but just put a fender on top of it so I wouldn't sit on it. And that was also because I was departing on my epic journey to Sweden the next day, but not before I met an amazing couple. They gave me a typical Norwegian beer. That is so sweet. I had to fill up the water tank, which I did. And then I met Ove and Mona, and they gave me a beer. And I promised them I would drink it when I'm home, and then I'll put it on YouTube. So, Ove, Mona, it was nice meeting you. And you will see this one back in a later video. Thanks. Goodbye, Staveren. You've been good to us. Thank you so much. Thank you, WindRose, for carrying me again. There we go. I don't expect the camera to pick this up, but what kind of amazes me is that when you look at the bottom area, I'm not sure you can see, but I can make a print screen. It's mountainous, but the waves actually build. It's hard to catch it on camera, but it's really, you see it on the boat, it's really rocky, and it is from everywhere to nowhere, which is yeah, it's another Dutchman on engine, I believe, although he has his head sail up. I see more people doing that, but I'm going dead downwind, so I don't think that's gonna make any difference. But he has to beat into the waves. That's horrible. As it turned out, I was a little bit too cautious because I left early to make sure that I wouldn't be arriving in the midst of the so-called storm. But there wasn't a lot of wind in the morning, so I had to do a lot on engine. And there's this one thing with engines that is like shoes that are too small. If you cut it off, it's actually a relief. It's so much better when it's sailing. Although the engine is rock solid and works like a charm, the boat is so much more comfortable if it's sailing. Although we're not going as fast now, but we're having apparent 8 knots of wind, but we're doing 4 knots, so it will pick up later. But it's so much more a sailboat. I will just reef the sails and then it will be better. Well, at least I've seen Sweden. That's good. And I've seen the windmills from far away, and I was sort of surprised that they are on land. I would have expected them to be into water, but fortunately they're not, which is good. And it's about time to start checking some visual elements. I see one tower, I see rocks on that end, so I need to start checking my course. It started with no wind, but it didn't end with no wind. It actually picked up quite a bit, and that's obviously when you're hitting a lee shore, unknown rocks, etc, etc. I'm doing 5.7 knots, which is fair enough for me. Just a head sail, navigating shallow waters, rocky area here. And I am about 1 hour from where I aim to go. And I'm super curious to see how it is, because it is rather exposed here. So I do hope that these rocks are high enough to kind of hide me behind when the system comes through. So we'll see. Let's just keep pushing this boat and myself. We are getting extremely close to the shore. Sweden shore, that is. As in, you can really see it. First impression, quite a different landscape. And not a lot of trees, and still a lot of wind while I'm behind the islands. That's interesting. Somehow the Swedish houses look sweeter, smaller, and more colorful in a way. I don't know. I can't remember actually. I need to check the material. But it looks good. Making it to Sweden obviously creates a bit of an issue, because you have to do something that some people call a new country ritual. Well, I think it was at least very symbolical in 2 ways. Yesterday I actually reconnected it. Aujourd'hui. It has to go again. My time in Norway is over. Dear Norwegian friends. Here it goes. I have flown it with pride. The Norwegian flag. Great country. I really liked it. So thank you for having me. And I will put this one in a very special place, somewhere in home, on the wall or something. I can show that I've been in Norway on my own boat. And as tradition has it, I don't have a Swedish flag yet. Kind of need to buy one. But I'm in an anchorage where I don't have a shop, I noticed. So I have to do without one. Now I have it, but it wasn't all that easy to get one. And for one, it was the wind. It was quite exposed where I was. I've later found it's quite exposed most of the places, but that's another story. So I wanted to get to a bit more, less windy place. So I headed off in the morning and something struck me straight away. I do find this extremely remarkable. These people are on a lee shore here, on a rock, and apparently on a line or something. And I probably have like huge boulders, but they're on the lee side of the rock. The wind is blowing in from this angle, quite a bit of wind, and then you are there. It's like really? They seem to be rather chill about it. I figured there could have been some sailing, but I don't think with a headwind of 14, 20 knots it's going to be a lot. Although the other side of the channel definitely is sailing. Yeah. You win some? Yeah, lose some. Exciting, and just looking at the waves, a couple of rocks actually make quite a difference. That was rocky with no rocks, and this is rocky with no waves, so that was not what I expected. What the fuck, what was that, man? Crazy. Yeah, that was fun. I think I enjoyed it a bit more than in the beginning, where I probably would have freaked out. But if you actually are on the open side of the sea, it's quite rocky if there are no rocks to protect you. But yeah. So, well, moving on engine, because there was still a headwind, I noticed some secret signaling to mariners, I guess. Really figured out what the squares with the dots mean, but I think it's something like a recommended route, because you see them in various places. They kind of seem to make sense, but I'm not sure if, for instance, you go in the other way, you see the same one. So, not sure if there is more logic to it than just a dot. Actually, it's more a pixel. It's not really a dot. thought would have been round. This is more square. So it's dotted pixel. Pixel, picture perfect pixel. Yeah, it is really picturesque, if I may say so. But it is also quite small and quite windy. Somehow I understand Hallberg-Rathi with their bow thrusters and their sturdy ships. You need a sturdy ship here. Tacking high into the wind. I have a constant headwind now, and it's weird because my direction is different all the time. But yeah. What is it? It's a challenging sail, I would say. Especially if you're facing the open ocean. Becomes even more challenging. Open North Sea, not the ocean. And there I was, my first cross-country sail from Norway to Sweden, and my first inland sail in Sweden. Everything successful, and that deserves a toast. I thought it was pretty amazing, and I was pretty snuck with myself that this all worked, and I still am, because I think it was a great adventure. Being more confident on the boat, having more fun, learning by doing, boys and girls. So, next episode, obviously, I will be moving on to the next destination in Sweden. Hopefully I can set up a sail, and hopefully I will see you again. So if you've liked this video, give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe if you want to see the next one, and leave a comment if you like. Happy sailing, happy living. See you later, boys and girls. Cheerio.